This is Chandra Prowell with Edina Public Schools, and I'm doing a screencast that is part 3 of our composition project for Recorder Karate, doing the black-green belt. Step 1 you've already finished, was to create a rhythm. Step 2, after you checked the rhythm with me, you added pitches, and now we're on to step 3, which is writing it on the staff. First of all, you have to use one of these fancy things right here called a treble clef. We've been talking about them and learning about them. Sometimes we forget how to write them though, so take a look at this quick little thing. It's going to go from the bottom, scoop up to the top, loop around the top. It usually crosses somewhere around the line D right here, crosses the line, comes around, touches the bottom, comes around again on the other side, touches the middle line, that's B, and then finally loops around the second line, which is G. This is what it looks like when you write it. There we go. Now, let's take a look at all these other pitches I've got right here. This is the pitch set that I chose. It was the D, Do pentatonic, using D, E, F sharp, A, B, and D with the thing on top right there. That means it's high D. But if you look at this picture I have right here, I have absolutely every single pitch here, because every single one of these pitches here is what fits into every single one of these boxes. These are all the pitches you've learned since white belt at the very beginning. Now you're not going to use them all. For instance, when I use this one right here, D, Do pentatonic, I'm not going to use C. What else will I not use? I won't use G, and I won't use high C or high E. That leaves, oh, you know what else? I won't use F, but I will use F sharp. Please notice the difference between the two. I'm also going to use the D and E, the A and B, and the high D. Now, do you have to do this? No. I just thought I'd show you. If you need to have that little help right there and just circle the ones you're going to use and cross out the ones you're not, then go ahead and do it. There's nothing wrong with that if that's what you choose to do. All right. Next step over here is to take what we created here and put it on the staff. My piece begins with a 2-4 time signature, so I'm going to need to throw in a 2-4, oops, I went too far, a 2-4 time signature right here. There it is. It goes next to the treble clef, and remember, you only put it one time. It doesn't happen down here if you need to spill over into the next line. It only tells you at the very beginning your beats per measure. That's it. Now I'm going to go back over here, and notice that I started with T, T, Ta, D, D, A. Do not forget, this is crucial. When you're writing your pitches on the staff, your note head tells me what pitch to play in my recorder. Your stem tells me how fast or slow. So do your note head first and make sure you're really accurate about where you put the note head, and then do the stem. So here we go. I'm going to bring my time signature back in because it's 2-4, and we started with D, D, A. Notice that with our D right here in this picture, that D is just hanging below and touching the bottom line. I did the same thing here. D is hanging below and touching the bottom line. Take a look at A. A is in between. We call that in a space. It's touching the top and the bottom, and it's not going over any lines. So it's totally clear that it's in that space. There's no confusion. Is it a line? Is it a space? I don't know. There's no confusion. I did the best I could with writing with a smartboard. Please do the best you can with a pencil and a paper. Notice that in this tika-tika, to know that it's a tika-tika, I had to make 2 lines. If you don't make 2 lines, it's 1. And what is it? Hopefully you filled in the blank and told me it was a TT. Moving on, the next part is F, E, F, but not really. Because look again up here, I have to have F sharp, which means I need to have that little thing right there called the sharp sign, which we recognize from our instruments, and that looks like this. But boys and girls, here's a little hint. Musicians, if they know they're going to have to write a lot of F sharps, they put it in what's called the keys signature, a word you already know. There it is in my key signature. If I put it up there, now I know that every time I see a note in this space right here, or this space right here, every time it's on that bottom space, it's going to be an F sharp. Same thing if I end up putting one on the top line right there, that would also be an F sharp because this is on the top line. Now, we don't know that pitch, so we don't have to worry about that. So now there's no F sharp here because it's right there, and I don't have to write another F sharp for the whole rest of the piece because I just know it belongs there. Here's ABA for the end of my phrase. Notice I've been putting in bar lines all along so I don't have to go back and do it. And I'm just going to show you the completed song. Here it is. But there's one problem. Again, right here I have an F sharp. What I should have done is I should have just done my F sharp again in the key signature. A time signature you only do once. A key signature you just do every time you start a new line. And then by doing that, I can just get rid of this F sharp right here, and there's my piece. And it looks and sounds like this. There's my piece, and I can't wait to see yours. Now you've finished your last step, come and show it to me.